Hello, today I'm going to show you how to do your own nails at home doing the dip powder method. In order to do the dip powder method, you will need a few items such as a file that's long and skinny. You can use this to do the edge of your nail, a buffer that'll make everything smooth, the actual dip powder, the base, and this is what the powder sticks to, the activator, and this is what makes the powder hard, and then the gel top coat that seals everything up. The first step you're going to want to do is take the long skinny file and just file the edge of your nails. You can do it in any shape that you want. I prefer a rounded edge, but you could do a square edge or a squoval, almond, doesn't really matter. And then you're going to take the buffer and just buff the shine out of it. This helps the powder stick a little bit longer. You can achieve like a manicure that lasts 2 weeks by doing this. And now this is what the nail looks like. It's a little bit rough and there's no shine to it any longer, and you're ready to start dipping. The first step for the dip is going to be the base. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take a very thin coat of it and just brush it all over your nail in an even thin layer. And now once the nail is wet in the polish, you're gonna take the powder and dip it straight in and then pull back, and you'll have a nail that looks a little bit like that. I like to blow on it to get rid of the excess powder. And then typically you would go on to doing the rest of the nails, but for the demonstration purpose, we're only going to focus on one nail. You're going to take the base again and paint another thin coat over this. Just an even thin coat like your first layer. You're going to take the powder once again and dip down into it, and then I blow on it again. And then some colors require you to do 2 to 3 dips in the powder. This color appears that it's going to be 3 times dipped just because it's thin and you can still see some of the natural nail under it. It's really personal preference, but I prefer a bolder color when it comes to my nails. So I'm going to take the powder or the base coat and dip it again. Powder. And blow on it again. Now I have a pretty good layer of the dip powder on my nail, and that's what we want. I'm going to take the activator, and this is what's going to harden the powder on my nail. Take it and just a nice even coat of it, making sure you get all of your nail because you want all of it to be hard. And then once you do the activator, it makes the nail color a little bit more brighter, but it's not completely done yet. You're going to want to let it dry for just a couple minutes. You can blow on it to advance the process. And then I will take my buffer and just along the top of it, just buff out any edges that look a little wonky. I like to look at it pointing towards me and see if I have any high points, and it appears that I do on this side of my nail. So I'm going to take my buffer and really focus on that area. I'm going to look again, and it appears that everything is smooth and around the same height around the nail. And then you will take another coat of your activator, and this really seals it in and makes it extra hard. I like to put a little bit more than the first time I did it on the second coat, just to ensure that it's really nice and hard. And this step, you're gonna need to wait just a few more seconds than any of the other steps to make sure it really gets hard and it's secured to your nail. During this time waiting, I like to take my finger on my opposite hand and just brush off the pigmented powder from the sides of my nail and underneath. And if I have anything like under my nail that's bothering me, I'll take the edge of my other fingernail and just run it under there and clear it out. But it appears that it's pretty dry right now, so then we're gonna go ahead and take our step 3, which is our gel coat, and we're gonna brush it on. This step does require normally around 3 coats, and this step is normally the most important because it's what seals it and makes it shiny and gives you that true salon look. So I have my brush and I'm just gonna paint another even layer on it. And then you can tell it's starting to look shiny with the first coat. You can tell with the light. With the first coat, when it does dry, it won't be super shiny. It'll start to matten out, and that's okay. That's perfectly normal. That's how you know it's starting to dry and you're gonna have an even layer. So you can blow on it to speed up the process a little bit. And then if you look closely, it's starting to look bubbly. Not like noticeably bubbly, but like the first coat is really sinking into the powder, and that's what we want. So we're gonna go ahead and add a second coat. And that's what it's gonna look like. You can stop here, but I prefer to do a third coat of the gel polish just to make them last a little bit longer and give them the strength they really need. So I'm gonna let this one dry a little bit like I did the first coat. Once again, you can blow on it to speed up the process. I'm gonna do it once again and really give it that shine that I'm looking for. And that is what it looks like. Looks like you just came out of the salon. And you can do it for very cheap and affordably at home. I use the Azar brand from Amazon. You can get products like these from Walmart, Sally's Beauty, Ulta Beauty. They're pretty budget friendly. I learned how to do this in a span of 10 minutes. So I recommend that any person who's looking for a cheap, affordable way to do their nails can do it this way at home for an affordable price. And that's all for today.